Hey guys, welcome back to Pod for Girls, and welcome to episode 4. Please don't mind the mess in the back. Like I said in my TikTok videos, if you haven't watched them, I moved. So my room is gonna be a little messy, but I did clean it up today, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And today's podcast episode will be about change slash moving, and this will be a two-part episode. I'll make this one today, and then probably the next episode, like this weekend. I don't know when this episode will be posted. It depends on how long it takes to load, but let's get started. I will say most of the time I might get off topic a little bit about change and stuff, but this will also kind of go into friendship, I guess you could say. I don't even know what this today's topic is. Kind of, it's like a mix and match sort of, but yeah. And so like I just said, I did just move. I'm not gonna say where, but I will say I just moved from Tennessee, and I've moved like like just a lot of places. So I'll keep talking about that in a second. Um, One thing I will say is that I love moving from like place to place. Sorry guys. Sorry if you could hear that too. But one thing I will say though is like moving, it's really fun from place to place. The thing is just like it's a lot of work. Honestly, it didn't start being a lot of work for me till probably when we like moved from Arizona to Tennessee, because in Arizona that's where I feel like I spent most of my time at, especially because like I went to a certain school for like a while ever since I went to like preschool, and I've had friends from there, so shout out to all my friends in Arizona, and I will say that was very hard leaving them, especially because of like a close connection I had with them. So I really hated leaving them, and they really hated me leaving them. And then we moved to Tennessee, the smallest part of Tennessee ever that we could move in, and it's called Martin, Tennessee. I don't know if some of y'all know where it is. I know my friends that I just moved away from, they know where it is, but if you if you know what Tennessee is, there's a place called Martin, and it's this small, tiny little town. There's nothing that it's a cute town. It's just not a lot to do there. So basically, in today's episode, we'll probably mostly get into my last day of school and how emotional it was for me and all of my friends. Sorry, y'all, I changed the angling. But so basically, on some Fridays we have fun Fridays, and basically, if we have all of our work finished in like certain classes, then we get to go to Fun Friday and play in the gym, get some free time, all that stuff. And so basically, on that Friday, like that week, we had Fun Friday, and at first I was gonna stay full day, then I was gonna stay half day, and then my mom was like, "No, we're probably gonna stay. You're probably gonna stay until 10 o'clock that day." So I was like, "Okay, that's fine. As long as I get to come to school, that's cool." Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, so yeah, I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then next day, I go to school, and my friends, of course, I'm always like telling them bad news, or I'm telling them something different every day, because like it's like my parents don't know how to make up their mind. Not trying to be rude, just saying. So, anyways, I'm telling them, I'm like, okay, guys, well, I'm leaving at 10 o'clock actually, and if I didn't already say this, I can't remember, but our time goes by faster during Fun Friday. So like the schedule is changed, and classes they go by faster, so you could go to Fun Friday. I don't know. Anyways, I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm leaving at 10 o'clock. They're panicking. They're like 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking they were just like upset that I'm leaving so early, which they were. But there was more to that though, and I'll get to that in a second. So then they go to my fourth period teacher's classroom, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go in there with them because it seems important, and I'm not just gonna follow them around. So I decided that I'd go like just like walk around like by myself like I always do. Um, so yeah. Mind you, they had also seemed really suspicious that week, also, or at least a little bit to me. And I'm like not in like a rude way, and like they're trying to do something way. And that I was like, I'm kind of acting like funny, but I didn't really care. And so then it's like they really like looked like they wanted me to stay at least till like the end of fourth period. So I was like, well, maybe I'll try and convince my dad. Cause my mom was like, don't try to convince to stay a little longer. 10 o'clock is it. I'm like, okay. But I'm thinking of like trying to convince my dad. That same day, I'm like, okay, Dad. So like, what time are you picking me up tomorrow? He's like 10 or 11. I was like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. And so I'm like, okay, 11 maybe. So I texted all my friends. I'm like, y'all, I might stay till 11, but like I'm just saying might though, because I'm not pretty sure. So then they're like, oh my gosh, that's great, that's amazing. So then so then next day comes around. My dad, we're waiting for the school to like open and stuff. We got there a little early. And I'm like, okay, so what time are you picking me up again today? He's like, I'll let you know. I'm like, okay, and I was like, 11 o'clock, please. But yeah, I didn't want to bug him too much about it though. So then that same day, I'm just like waiting for him to text me and everything. Mind you, we are not allowed to have our phones out, so I just was digging in my backpack the whole day, or like once or twice. It wasn't the whole day. And I'm like trying to hang out with my friends as much as possible. I'm like it's my last day. And every other day that I would like talk about moving and stuff, my friends said like be upset. Sometimes they would even cry. I hadn't cried about it. It's like it has to be that same day for me to cry about it, and I really gotta feel the pain. Like that day, the days that I was telling them that I'm moving, I felt the pain, but like not as much as I did on the last day. I'm also that same day I'm trying to say goodbye to all my teachers and everything. Two of them I couldn't say bye to because there's like a soccer championship with the high school and everything. But yeah, so we were having substitutes, so that was fun too. And yeah, you know what I mean. Anyways, um, this is a little off topic, but it's going into the main part of today's story, sort of. So yeah. Okay, so third period, I got to go to Fun Friday, and some of the girls they'll play basketball. Some of them they'll play volleyball. Some of them they'll just play other stuff or just sit in the bleachers. Me, I'm one of those girls who don't sit down in the bleachers. Not judging the girls who do, but I'm one of those girls who has to be active and playing and everything. So I was playing with the guys, and none of my friends were playing with them that day, but I was. And then what happened was it was like a lot because like usually the boys it will be like a couple people playing, and then it turns into like 20, 30 people playing. It feels like it. So basically, um, I start playing and everything. Then I guess I wasn't paying attention, which I'm not really good at paying attention. Yeah, and basically, some guy he had the basketball and he was trying to get around me, and then he swept me like under my leg, and I fell on my arm like that. That's why I have this on. But I fell on my arm like that, just like sitting down, and then like my arm like started hurting, but it didn't like feel broken or anything. It felt like a sprain. But then I was like, oh shoot, because I got really scared, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just did something to my arm, and it's my last day of school, so, and I'm very clumsy also. So then like, so then the cheerleading coach sees me and she's like, "Hey, you good?" And she says it over the microphone, and I'm like, I think I just hurt my arm. So then she came to check it out, and all my friends like came to check on me also. And then she was like, "I'm gonna send you to the nurse." And so then I was like, "Okay." And my friend had walked there with me, and we were in there for like last 5 minutes of Fun Friday, and um, that made everybody in my fourth period nervous, and I'll get to that in a second. But they didn't really say anything. The nurse didn't really say anything about it. This is all topic, but she didn't really say anything. But I don't know what's wrong with it, but it feels better now. It's been like a couple days now. So next thing you know, the bell rings. I don't have any of my stuff, and my friend doesn't have my stuff either. And the nurse was wrapping up my arm for me. She's like, "Okay, I'll try to do it as fast as you can, so you can get to your next class." And I was like, "Okay, no rush, it's fine." Then after the bell rings, my friend, she's like, "Hey, they also want you in Mr. So and So's class." Um, so then I'm like, "Okay, let's just grab our stuff first, and then we could go to class, and then we'll go to Mr. So and So's class." And I was going to my fourth period, so I'm just gonna call my fourth teacher period Miss Molly. So then that's not her actual name, just fake name. But anyways, so we gotta rush to the gym and grab our bags and everything, and then I'm trying to rush to go to Miss Molly's class because I'm like I need to make like because I know they were stressing out about me leaving that period. So then like I was trying to rush back there to like reassure them that I didn't leave yet. So then next thing you know, I get to Miss Molly's class, and while I'm like going there, she's standing outside the door like looking like she's about to like go out and look for me or see if I just left. And I'm like I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And she's like, okay, that's good, that's good. And then I hear like everybody like talking in there, sounding like hurry up, do this, do that, do that. And I'm like, am I allowed to go in there? And then like the Miss Molly looks in, she's like, are y'all ready? And then she was like, everybody was like, yeah, we're good. So I walk in there, and then they all say surprise, and they all had like just everything set up for me and everything. It was like it's a little going away party. When I tell y'all, it was so sweet, and I hadn't cried up until that moment. I had walked through the door. I had saw everybody just standing there. They all brought food and drinks and everything, and I had a little goodbye sign and everything on the TV, and it was so sweet. And then I turned around and almost like went out the door and started crying, but Mrs. Molly had stopped me and gave me a hug. And all my friends, they just started coming up to me and giving me a hug. And I started bawling my eyes out, and all my other friends started bawling their eyes out. And I loved it so much. It's just like one of the sweetest things that I'll never forget that anybody's ever done for me. And yeah, they had brought drinks. They had like Dr. Pepper and Sprite, cake pops. They brought donuts, uh, like ham and cheese and crackers and whatever. A cookie cake, and it was just a lot, and it was really sweet, and it just like was the sweetest thing ever. And they were all like, they all told me they were like stressing out because they were like, "Wait, did she leave?" And I was like, "No, I literally hurt my hand like last period, and I had to hurry up and get it wrapped." And when I tell y'all, like ever since I moved, I've just been replaying that memory in my head like every single day. It's just like it's been replaying in my mind, and it's really sweet, and it makes me cry every time I think about it. And then next thing you know, I go to sit down in my seat, and before we even start eating, I had like had a, it took me like probably 5 minutes to get to my desk because I made it through the door, but I was still at the doorway, and everybody was giving me a hug, and it was a lot. So I went to go sit down at my seat, and the TV I had like when everybody was done hugging me, the TV said goodbye, Danny, and it had like a little car that had like little stuff that was packed around it, and I thought it was really sweet. I was like, I didn't even see this yet because a million people were hugging me, and I down at my desk, and turns out it was a video. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the next thing you know, my classmates they made a video talking about all the things that they'll miss about me or what they like about me, and I'm like, bro, that was so sweet. And then we started eating. Then we took a group picture. It was just the best thing. And my teacher even got me something, and I love it very much. She got me this strawberry shortcake blanket because all my friends know I just love strawberry shortcake. Like, I just love her. She's a queen. And she also got me a journal that said she wrote in it before I did, but it was a sweet little note, and I'll love it, and I'll keep it forever. And then she got me this journal that had flowers and little strawberries on it. And then another thing was my friend, she had got me this card, and only she was supposed to sign in it. Then everybody else thought they were supposed to sign in it, so they did. But she was gonna write me like this big paragraph, but I still loved the card, and I really enjoyed it. And fourth period was also one of my favorite periods too. And then after that period, we took our like little group photo and everything. And then after that, it was just like we were just waiting for my dad to come pick me up and everything, but it was very stressful. And then before that, though, still at the party, my I was like telling all my friends, I'm like, I knew you are trying to do something for me. Even like one of the boys that morning, they had like told that they were doing something, but they didn't say it was for me. But I could still kind of tell that week because they were acting like really suspicious. But it was still really cute and everything. I wasn't expecting like a whole like big party like how they did, sort of. But yeah, and then my teacher was like, she's stressed out, and she texted my dad too. She had to literally beg him to let me stay, and then my dad was like, okay, yeah, I'll let her stay, and he let me stay for like probably another hour, maybe an hour or two, and at that point we were just sitting there crying, saying goodbye to all my teachers, and they were all giving me hugs and everything, and that same morning also when I was in the hallway, one of my favorite teachers, the one that I was talking about when I was supposed to go to his classroom, um, he saw me and he told me like bring my friends and everything. And he went to the store and he bought me donuts and he had me like a little going away party that morning. And I thought it was really sweet. And so yeah, that was my last day. And then at that point, after fourth period, like I said, we just cried the whole time till my dad came. And after that, it was just like in the hallway. we were all like, there was a huge crowd, especially because it was Fun Friday, but everybody like was trying to come see me before I left. And it was when I tell you it was a lot, it took like they had to let my dad come in and wait for me because they were all trying to give me hugs and they're like, wait, can I get one more? Can I get one more? When I tell you it took us 10 minutes to leave out of that school just so all my friends could say goodbye to me. And we were all like crying and bawling our eyes out and everything. I might pop up the video, the goodbye video, and I might pop up some pictures. But and that day was just a really good day for me. I mean, it was a sad day also, but that's one day that I won't forget ever in my life, or I hope I don't forget. But my favorite thing about that whole school year was them throwing me a surprise party and how much I enjoyed it a whole lot. And yeah, and my friends they also got me like a lot of going away gifts and everything. And everybody said they would miss me a lot, and I really miss them. And my friends keep saying that I'll forget them and everything, but I really won't. I've been calling them and texting them every single day, hoping that they would answer, and they did to show them that I didn't forget about them. But, anyways, that is all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. And part two on my first week of living in my new house. Maybe I might give a house tour if you guys want. But yeah, just let me know. Bye, guys. Love you.